Okay. Let's see if this actually worked. Wow, we're live. Huge. I pressed the button correctly. Great work, everybody. Where did I go? That's a great question. Let me make sure that I'm doing everything correctly here. Before we really get started. Okay, so this is the first time I've done a live stream on YouTube. I sort of figured that people would be more interested in seeing this over here, in general, since most of my stuff tends to be on YouTube anyways. But the basic idea here is that we're going to be rolling the Battacor. Okay, so let me show what's going on. So, I've been sitting on quite a bit of, like, unveiled Rivens, or veiled Rivens, rather, for, like, a good amount of time now. Like, we have 26 pistol Rivens that I'm supposed to open at some point. But I decided that I kind of wanted to do, like, a rifle Riven or a melee Riven this time, and I ended up unveiling a Battacor Riven. And Battacor is not a weapon that I've really built out before. So we have put 7 Forma into it, which is a great time. And so currently the plan is to spend 1 million Kuva on this thing, see what we end up with, and then hopefully we get somewhere. Gamba stream, so true. Good to see you, Kaylee. Let me show you what's going on. For people who are not that familiar with Gyre, Gyre is a really, really good weapons platform just in general. I wouldn't call her like the best weapon platform in the game, but she certainly has like enough AoE to make a good argument for it. But like we also have Mirage and stuff, so do I manually unveil my Rivens or slowly with ciphers? I kind of do both. This time I just did it manually because it was a pretty easy one. But, so this is the build right now, without any buffs. We're kind of hitting viral a little bit earlier than I want to. So ideally I'd like to get a Riven with some sort of elemental damage, so that the weighting's a little bit better on this. But you can see that this ends up being pretty decent, just as a weapon right now. It also has this augment that like makes it so that when you shoot a laser, it does cool laser things. Let me try to show this off. I think I'm on the no augment version right now. Yeah. Okay, so this is the version that I'm planning on using with what's her face, with Gyre. So Sentient Barrage here. I'd like to get crit chance on this somehow so that the main fire has some sort of crit chance. But if I don't, then I don't know. We'll see. But Sentient Barrage, this is kind of interesting. I've been playing with it a little bit, and I think it's okay. The issue that I'm having with it is that I don't really think that, like, realistically in gameplay, you're going to hit 3 targets with this weapon. Like, when they're lined up like this, it's really easy to hit 3 targets, and then this is pretty cool. So the basic idea here is that we needed some sort of grouping tool to just make sure that we can actually hit multiple enemies with the alt fire. So that was kind of the reason that we chose Gyre specifically. And then on top of this, like, Gyre's stuff is just good. Her one augment's probably like one of the stupidest things in the entire game. It turns out forced electric procs are pretty good. But so that's kind of the main Riven that we're going to be going for today, is one for Gyre specifically. In case people are curious about the build, this is what we're currently running. I'm only running 2 ability damage shards here, but you can definitely run more. and then 1 primary electric, and then just some maximum energy just for startup, and then a casting speed shard. And then the actual build, we're running both conductive sphere and cathode current here. This is basically mandatory as far as I'm concerned. I basically never see anybody not run this. So I think this is really important. Rolling Battacor, yep, that's the plan. Good to see Nikki. And then conductive sphere is like just fun. So I've been running it. I am running something resembling shield gate on here. I think you could probably make a good argument for running like a little bit more survivability than this. And then the other version of this that I'm kind of interested in doing is Garuda. And the reason Garuda is interesting is because her 4 has that augment that basically makes your 4 an instant cast. And whenever your 4 hits something, anything that damages it is going to give slash effects, right? And so this weapon with like kind of mediocre, what's it called? Status chance, actually has a way to do status, which is pretty sick, and it scales pretty well with the rest of this, so. Cool weapon, not talked about much? Yeah, I agree. I basically just opened a random Riven, and I decided whatever I get is what I'm going to roll, so. But we got kind of lucky. We got a 1 that was pretty interesting, so. We're going to try to play with this. I'm going to spend a lot of Kuva on it, so hopefully it's good. The idea is a million Kuva like the other videos, but we'll have to see. I'm not positive yet. Maybe if we get something crazy, like really, really early, then I'll spend the rest on something else, but we'll have to see. Riven stat tier list. Okay. Let's make the thingy. Usually I do this on my own, but I think probably it makes sense to do it with other people here. This is the one that I was editing for Sobek, so I think bad's still fine here. Let's actually reset this. Is there a way to reset it fast? There is. Battacor I haven't tried. What's its passive? So the passive is basically, how do I explain the passive? Okay, so it has 2 parts to it, right? The primary fire is basically just a burst fire rifle, so it shoots twice. It is multiplicative condition overload, so it's pretty good. It has like 66 base damage, which is kind of on the high side. And then it has pretty good crit stats. It's like 34% crit and 2.4 crit damage. And then getting kills will charges the alt fire, and it's sort of a combination of 2 things. So if you have the augment in, it's basically the Opticore. So it has infinite body punch through. It doesn't have a radial at the end of it, but it does have infinite body punch through, and it's pretty sick. With the augment 2, it also has like just 300% extra crit. So I'll just mouse over this while I'm talking about it so people can read it. Where's the thingy? Yeah. So it gets 300 crit and 300 crit damage. So this can do a fuckload of damage is a good way to put it. And it kind of like auto recharges too. So if you hit something, it'll recharge it, and you can shoot again, you can shoot again, you can shoot again. And as long as you hit 3 things, you'll get that 300% crit thing. I think you could make the argument that the main part of it is that it recharges when you hit something. So it's cool. It's like kind of good. But I think if you're like serious about the weapon, you should probably just focus on the primary fire. I actually don't think this is that good unless you're like using a grouping tool. So I would kind of throw this out, to be honest, but I haven't really like fully decided yet. Main stats that we're going to be looking for. Where is our tier list? So I'm almost certain that I want to do not an acuity build on this. And whenever you're doing an acuity build, or not doing an acuity build, then multi-shot is pretty good. So we are going to be doing that. And then I think from here, there's like 2 ways that we can take this weapon, right? Either the use Garuda version or the use Gyre version. For Garuda, I think we just kind of want raw damage. With the infinite punch through and recharges on hit, you can spend the alt fire into mag bubble over and over and hit and kill a huge group of enemies in like 3 or 4 shots. Yeah. That is something that I tried pretty early on with this. But But an issue I was having with it is that because it's like a hit scan, so like the primary fire is a hit scan, it like stops halfway through the bubble. So if you have like a huge group of enemies, it'll often just miss like half of the enemies. And you can keep firing it, but it wasn't as like sick as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to do like Nadaruk things, right? When you shoot it into the mag bubble. But can you change the railgun from its own kills? I don't think so. If you don't have the augment in, I don't think it refreshes. You just like have to hit, if that makes sense. I think you like, actually, you know what? Let's just test it. Just so I'm not like saying nothing. But I'm like 90% sure that if you get a kill with the alt fire, it doesn't refresh it if you don't have the augment equipped. That's Garuda. Okay. So this is the Garuda version of the build. Let's just do roar now so that we actually can get a kill in some amount of time. Okay. So in theory, if I kill this guy, yeah, it just doesn't recharge. It do be meaty though. Feels pretty good. You know, Molecular Prime can chain Okina daggers from their own kills, so it might work the same on this weapon if it doesn't already work at the base. Yeah. That's actually a good point. I haven't tried Nova Inherit stuff with this. But a low-key might be a Nova weapon, which isn't saying that much because everything's a Nova weapon, but... I just damaged the console. Okay, so if this kills and gives me... So you might have to actually kill with it in order for the chaining behavior to work. But if I had to guess, this probably does work the way you're thinking it does. Where like if the Molecular Prime explosion kills, then it like gives charges. It seems like really annoying to test though, so everything's a Nova weapon to you. You're like the Nova person, so it's kind of the case. Oh, did you actually see that they nerfed Vidaria on Nova specifically too? I don't know if people have shown this, but after they did the blast nerf, Nova explosions don't like give extra lightning anymore. It's really sad. Maybe these guys are not primed properly. I don't see explosions. Rolling, rolling, rolling. You're so right, Milk. Very sad about it. Because this was like one of my favorite Nova weapons before that, but no such luck. It's such like a Nova problem too because Zephyr still works. Really, that's so lame? Yeah. They nerfed the blast interaction because it was lagging people's games, but Nova got caught in the crossfire. But this still works. So, Nova privileged to, like, get nerfed, I guess. Unlucky. This weapon's still really fun, though. I like it a lot. Been using it on Nova a lot and having fun? Yeah. It's still a really good weapon. Well, okay. I wouldn't call it a really great weapon anymore. Before it was, like, just stupid. I think I had more fire rate on this. Like that. Now it's just good. It's just, like, regular good. Instead of, like, objectively strong. Because of the blast interaction removal. But it's still good. You crave more videos when? So after I do this roll, I'll have another video that I'll be posting on this weapon. Probably tomorrow. I have tomorrow off because it's Labor Day. So I'll probably do a video then. And then until then, you'll just have to deal with like me doing weird shit on on this stream. Probably the next like tech video that I do have some stuff for the what's the name of the new melee? Blast interaction wasn't that good. It was, I don't know. I feel like anytime you get free AoE, it's like a good interaction, if that makes sense. So where is the melee, the new melee? Bonato, this guy. So this Tau status thing, if you guys remember from the second like scuffed builds video, the Ureli thing, it turns out this passive actually applies to your companion while you're on skateboard. So if you want to try something weird, try like using this with like an Artax or something on your companion, and this your companion will apply Tau status. So if you if you want something weird scuffed like to hold you over, there's your weird scuffed thing for the day. But for now, why don't we finish this tier list and then get rolling? How's that sound? So tier list, multi-shot, very good. Because we're probably going to be mostly using Gyre here, I do want electric on this. Gyre's one augment is status damage, and so it scales multiplicatively with electric damage on the weapon, so ideally I'd get some sort of electric here. Also triggers on Fod Scaffold and Cold Elemental Ward and Zada's Whisper, yep, and it also works on just regular reflect damage too, so if you just throw a Scourge on the ground and like they impact proc themselves, it'll work on that too. It's really funny. Bonato Prime might be your new favorite melee, not gonna lie. I think it could be better than Hate Incarnate. I guess it depends on the setup, right? Like, I think if you're leaning into the Hate's heat augment, then probably Hate is better, but otherwise, who knows? CC, CD, these are just fun, so I want big, funny red number, and I like crit damage, so let's keep those. I don't really care about a Bane for this. They would be good, but I don't want to deal with it. If we get a triple racist Riven, like always, I'm just going to stop rolling. Like, I still have never gotten a triple Bane before, so I'd love to find one of these. So if I end up doing a Garuda build, here, let's do this. Gyre and Garuda, and then we'll call this the Gyre or Garuda. So these are stats that are, let's do this. So these are stats that are always going to be good no matter what, and then these are stats that are going to be good on one or the other, but not both. So in the case of electric, because we can't like put viral, electric, and heat on the same weapon, we either want heat for Garuda or we want electric. We don't want both. Damage is always good for both, so we'll take that. Same with fire rate. Mag capacity is bleh. Don't really care. We'll just call this the Bane tier. Bane. Cold is okay. I don't really want colds, to be honest. This kind of messes with the weighting quite a bit, so this would be good for Garuda, but it wouldn't be that good for Gyre. Excited to see how it goes. You have 21 rolls, 93 toxin, 134 CD, 170 damage, minus 95% puncture of it. That's crazy. That's actually a pretty good one. Yeah, I don't know. Seems fun. This is basically terrible. I think I can put this in. These are good negative. I do think I kind of want magazine capacity on here because that. This is a good negative. This is a good negative. It doesn't actually have slash weighting, but you can roll a slash Riven, so this would be good. For reflect damage, you don't call it that anymore. You more call it miscellaneous damage now, yeah. So the reason that reflect damage works is because it's an untyped projectile. Like the damage is just not tagged as like coming from a source, like as one of your weapons, and so it works like on a bunch of random shit, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think the way that you're describing it is basically correct. Reload speed. Okay, we'll call this Battacor. Reload speed wouldn't be that bad. Like, this would make things stronger, so I don't really mind it, but yeah. Bleh. This is a good negative. Saturation is not really that great for this. Same with status chance. Puncture is a good negative. These are combines, don't really care about those at all. I think this is probably just bad, right? Like, you would never really want to run projectile speed. And then punch through. Punch through is actually pretty decent. The reason punch through is decent is because it helps the primary fire quite a bit. Your Battacor Riven is just CC, CD, punch through, no negative, pretty nice, yeah. That's actually what I have for my Opticor, and that's like my favorite. So this would be, that'd actually be a pretty good choice for this too. Okay, let me fix these orderings a bit. I think damage is better than critical chance and critical damage on this because we have the alt fire, which is just going to be extra crit. And so these are additive stacking, whereas damage is just good. This also helps the startup, and this weapon has terrible startup because it just doesn't have enough space for everything. I think the rest of this is about right, though. Anybody see anything immediately obviously wrong with this tier list? You can make it work on any weapon, including the Tornado, by swapping your loader after shooting the weapon and then exit the arsenal. It'll become miscellaneous and AoE linear clouds proc fortifier. That's so weird. I guess that's like a sim bug, basically. Weird. Also, multi-gun CO helps the base damage on the Riven, helps a ton. Yes. Totally agree. That's why I have damage up here. Very, very true. We don't care about any of these combined ones. We kind of just want a single... Well, okay, that's not true. If we got like electric cold, I would be okay with it, or like electric toxin, as long as the order is correct. Because I want viral electric or viral heat. I think. So I'm not gonna put these on here, but all right, let's do the thing. Sweet. Now I gotta drag this onto here. Boom. How's that look? We got a tier list? Only sim bug, but sometimes an emission damage randomly becomes miscellaneous, which is why you randomly gain overguard when toward procs influence or mirage with explosive mines. It's just too inconsistent for it to matter. Yeah, I think... How's the disposition? 1.1. So above average by a good amount. So pretty good. Like you can see, this is what we're starting with, and it's like pretty decent, so. Okay, let's get started rolling. So if people have never seen a video like this before, I think probably anybody who's tuning into the live stream at the moment probably has seen these before. But the basic idea here is that we're going to be spending 1 million kuva, so these rolls might take a while. Sorry in advance. We're mostly just going to be chatting and me clicking the button, so apologies. If we get to a weird Riven, though, I'll talk about it a little bit. And then hopefully, I don't know, it goes well, I guess. But yeah, let's get started. First roll, CC, CD, multi-shot, and good negative, and then we're done. So we didn't get that. We got something that's okay. I think I'd probably still take this over this, right? Because projectile speed is still here. Multi-shot is amazing. Toxin's okay, so we will take that. And then we get the worst thing ever invented, as is tradition. I'm also taking bets on like when we get our first like actually kind of decent roll, by the way. So if people have guesses, I'd love to hear them. Does this deserve like Wall of Shame already? Are we... Man, this one's pretty... Roll 4 and we're already getting things this bad. It's actually kind of impressive. That is not a good sign, is it? I should probably add a Wall of Shame thing. New text. Wall of Shame. I should probably recolor this too, so it's actually readable. like a red. We could do green. Perfect. Beautiful. Incredible streaming. First decent roll at 34. Okay. I'm holding you to that. This one's bad. Do I ever take this? At least we have 3 stats that do something this time. So projectile speed, how do I feel about projectile speed? Good roll before 100? Okay, I believe you. I actually don't think I care about projectile speed. When I was testing this, like while I was formatting it, I don't really think it matters. Is it worth running a Riven on the Fell Arcs? I guess it probably depends on the builds. If you're doing like one of the aerial, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like one of the aerial infinite ammo efficiency ones, then maybe. Because you can fit a lot of like good things in there that you wouldn't normally be able to. Here's kind of the way that I see Rivens on low disposition weapons. If you get a viral Riven, it's basically always good. So if you get like viral any negative, you can either leave it at 0 disposition and just run it like that, or you can level it up and then have like a decent amount of viral, save space, and then run like double damage, like Riven stuff, if that makes sense. So there's like still good rolls to go for, even if your disposition is 0.5. This is really shit. That said, obviously it's going to be like less useful. So like in terms of this is like a 60-60 mod, but times 2. This is kind of interesting. I don't really like the heat though. I kind of want to use the Sun Gyre, so if I have to choose between like a Gyre Riven and a Garuda Riven, I'll probably choose the Gyre Riven, but negative damage is terrible. That's not so good. Roll 42. So this weapon doesn't have impact, by the way. So the fact that we can get negative impact is so weird. This is like, there's a lot of Rivens that do this where like sometimes the IPS just exist even though like you can't get them. And so far I've seen negative slash and negative impact on this. So in some ways that's really good because it means it's a lot easier to get a good negative. But in some ways it's just scuffed. And I'm like worried that they'll remove it. Only using Felix Riven for negative crit at the moment. Yeah, I think that's probably decent. 27 being a god roll? Okay. I believe you. I kind of like this better, to be honest. This kind of really messes up the status weighting. But it might be kind of fun. I kind of like this much fire rate on it, so. And the other one's Toxin also, so why not? Let's just run it. Is positive impact worse than negative impact on a weapon with no impact? Is that true? I guess it would be, right? Because it would just add like impact based on the base damage. But I actually don't know if it does anything at all. If it doesn't do anything at all, then yeah, it's just worse also because the Battacor? Yeah. I don't know how we ended up with Battacor. Actually, I do. I clicked open Riven and we ended up with a Battacor, and so that's what we chose. This is insane, by the way. It doesn't have either of these stats, slash or impact. Your Spore Lacer has negative slash, which is great. Spore Lacer has no slash damage, yeah. I have a Boar Riven. Or, sorry, not a Boar Riven. A Bursten Riven with negative slash. And I keep thinking like, yeah, this is good because it'll make the heat weighting better. And then I try it like in level cap, and it feels okay. Like I'd rather just have the slash weighting, to be honest. Doesn't do anything? Yeah. So the reason that we're rolling the Battacor is because I opened a random Riven. But doesn't do anything? Okay. I think I misunderstood that question. Yeah. But you're right, the Battacor also doesn't do anything. It's a decent weapon. It's like, okay, radiation's insane. Please no. It's the issue that I have with the Battacor at the moment is that the startup is just so mediocre that I like don't know what to do with it. So the ideal Riven for me is probably like damage, multi-shot, electric, negative something. But what the? We got the legendary gas cold Riven. That's crazy. I actually, yeah. So it's really weird because like you would think I would like the Battacor a lot more than I do, because my most used secondary is the Sicarus, which is like a burst fire, just shoot a guy weapon, and then my most used primary is the Opticor, and then my second most used primary is the Opticor, like the, sorry, first most is Opticor Vandal, second most is regular Opticor. So you'd kind of like expect that I'd really like this weapon, but I think it's just like, yeah, the fire rate's really slow. I think the alt fire is like less useful than you'd expect because like the particle count in Warframe these days is just so high that like you can't see enemies half the time. And so if you miss, you just lose all your ammo. And it's like hard to react to if you lose your ammo. So, I don't know. Like I like the weapon, but the reasons that I like it are bad, I guess. I think it looks cool. That's like the reason that I like it. What's the dispo? 1.1. No. I'm either running this on Garuda or Gyre, so we do need status duration. Radiation again, this is cringe. No thanks. We're officially below a million Kuva now. That's also pretty bad. Damage to corpus, weapon recoil. Nux. One good thing about this weapon too is that it does kind of seem like there's a lot of things that I could potentially replace here, right? Like if I get crit chance or crit damage, those are both good. This is better. I kind of like this better. I think cold is too annoying and fire rate doesn't really help that much. Like if I have a cold Riven, so I think I'll run this. Zoom slash, nope. Oh wait, actually this Riven doesn't do anything, does it? What this Riven actually says is just plus 61% zoom. That's crazy. I'm considering wall of shaming it, but I have a feeling we're gonna get worse ones. The first one only went up because it was the first one. And we've got like 200 something rolls still, so we're gonna be here a while. Multi-shot projectile speed's kind of neat. There's a good negative too. Maybe I should have taken that. But I think I like the crit chance better, so... Zoom, ammo max, corpus. Nope. We'll have to see, though. If I get something particularly interesting, we might go try it before we keep rolling. Do you think this is worth taking? So the reason that I wouldn't like sit on this Riven is because status change isn't that useful, but status duration, underrated, overrated, or neither. I think it's one of the worst positives and one of the worst negatives. So it's exactly where it belongs. If you get negative status duration, you're usually sad, and if you get positive status duration, you're usually sad. So I don't know. I wouldn't call it underrated or overrated necessarily, but okay, we got a good Garuda one. This is maybe worth trying. Projectile speed is actually slightly based on the Battacor for the regular shots. Yeah, I kind of agree. It's like decent. It's not amazing, but it's decent. We should definitely try this one out, right? Let's just give this a go. It is a two stat Riven, so we're probably not going to sit on it. But I do want to try something like this on Garuda, because I haven't had a chance to like try a heat Riven, or like a heat build on this weapon in general. Okay, what am I replacing? Damage and heat. I like don't know what to replace here, because we kind of need everything. That kind of feels bad. It'd have to be like this too, right? So, viral heat. This isn't something I really thought about. Maybe I'm supposed to run Crux instead then? Yeah. Let's try this. So the reason that I'm kind of struggling with this one is because I don't really have enough space to fit everything at the moment. I'd like to put more stuff in. I do need fire rate because like this weapon feels awful without fire rate. Not convinced. Not using the augment? Not for Garuda. I have another build for the augment, but that one's for Gyre. The reason I'm not using the augment on Garuda is because we don't have a grouping tool. Well, it feels good. What a surprise. If you give things like 12 buffs, then the weapon feels pretty decent. I don't like the alt fire at all on Garuda. I dropped Elementalist, right? There's no way dropping Elementalist is correct when I have the warframe that makes everything apply slash. So there has to be something better to drop here. Maybe this Riven is just a fail because I don't have Giant on Eximus? Yeah, I will. Let me figure out if the build is usable first. This like feels fine. I don't know. It's like okay. I just don't have enough space for everything with this weapon, or with this Riven, so I think I need a 3-stat. This is actually kind of making me rethink the stats that I care about for Garuda. Now that like I've actually built it out. The reason it's making me rethink is because if I think about it, like let's just say we have to have Elementalist equipped somewhere, right? So we'll just put it over Vital Sense for now. The only slots that we have to put something are here, here, or like here. Aptitude is basically mandatory. This is basically mandatory. This is basically mandatory. So we have to do it. We have to replace a stat here somewhere. It's not bad, but it's taking a while to clear. Yeah, it's like okay. It just doesn't feel good build-wise, right? Like, realistically, if I just wanted to clear, like this is what I would do. Oops. Because once you get to that first kill, then like this is just gonna. This will kill stuff. And we have free magnetic, so we are stripping the overguard pretty fast too. And then we just never use the alt fire because it's bad. Why heat on her? The armor strip doesn't affect slash, no, but this weapon is just a bunch of raw base damage. And heat will also benefit from Elementalist, so it's just a good stat basically. But you're right, like you could just run straight viral and I think it would be fine. Either way though, I think probably this is not it. I'm glad I tested this because I'm like not happy with the Garuda build now. At least with a heat Riven. I think this might actually change the tier list if anything. Did I close it? I didn't. Bleh. Let's do that. I think you're actually right. Okay. Where's OBS? Wrong scene. So delete this one. Apologies for the 12 tier lists on the screen. Boom. How are we looking? I look like a stream again? Huge. Okay. I'm glad I tried this Riven because that actually made me think a little bit more. This one's cool. I think it's worse though. May you ask why I decided to dump 1,000,000 Kuva on Battacor? I clicked Unveil Riven and I got a Battacor Riven. I have no self-control. That's the real reason. I was like, I need a weapon that seems fun, and so I just unveiled a random weapon, and then I saw Battacor and I was like, okay, this thing has an augment, it has a burst fire, it has, like, it looks weird. I'm down. So now we're here. This one's cool. I think I'll take this. We won't test this one though, because it's just going to do more damage. I don't think it'll change anything. How do I farm so much Kuva so fast? I play a lot of Steel Path, and that's about it. I basically don't play normal path at all. And I do all of my dailies on Steel Path and stuff, so like I always do the dailies for the most part. And if you do the dailies every week, it's like between 30 and 60 Steel Path or Steel Essence a day, which is 40,000 Kuva. So I do that. I always buy the 50,000 Kuva when it comes around. I always buy 70,000 Kuva from the 2 weeklies. So it takes me roughly a month to get about 1,000,000 Kuva. My buddy and I saw your dubious build and started cooking. He built a normal Loki without potato with thermal asunder and 5 Tau Forged blue shards. Oh god. Yeah, that sounds like quite the cook. I don't really know what you would do with that, but it sounds like a good time. None of these are good. Where are the good rolls? You should prioritize Steel Path dailies? Thanks? Yeah, I agree. You should do that. I think the Steel Essence is way easier to farm than a lot of people give it credit. The dailies are just a ton of Steel Essence, just in the first place. But as long as you're doing relics on Steel Path and stuff too, like, you get so much Kuva. It's ridiculous. If you're looking for the quote-unquote meta strat for farming Kuva, that would be learning, like, arbitrations. Did I get a decent roll on 34? I don't remember. Anybody want to go back in the VOD and check? Because I don't remember. Probably not, if I don't remember it. What were the other guesses? People guessed some other stuff too, right? Good roll before 100. Roll 42. 27 was not a god roll. I don't see the other guesses. It's too hard. Stealthy Exterminate Riven opening, and it didn't work at all. That sounds rough. I think, so one question I do get asked a lot about, like, how I think of builds and stuff. Like at Slash and Impact? Okay, yeah. So it was Giga Trash. Unlucky. Speaking of Giga Trash, holy shit. The way that I think of a lot of builds and stuff, like the reason that I have like so much random shit to talk about, is because I spend a lot of time editing the wiki. I'm one of the main people who does the updates for the condition overload page these days. I'm not like the only person, but I tend to do a lot of the weird weapons that people forget about. Or like whenever a new weapon comes around, I usually test them. So that is one of the ways, is I just do a lot of wiki editing, and I'm a part of the wiki community, and so whenever something weird comes up, I tend to hear about it. So it's not necessarily that I think of the ideas myself, it's that I'm better informed than most people. That's just like, that's all it is, right? Is I just have access to more information because I edit the wiki. And to be clear, like, anybody can edit the wiki too. Like, you can just go and do those things yourself. Like, it's not hard to edit the wiki. All you need is an account, and then like people will ping you on the Discord if you do something wrong. It's really not that bad. And then probably the other thing that I do more than other people is that I just spend a lot of time in the sim. What do I think is the most commonly forgotten weapon? The Viper? I think the Viper is really cool. What is this? This is bad. I want it to be good, but it's bad. And to be clear, like, the Viper is not a good weapon. It's like... it's the opposite of good, if anything. But I have 7 Forma in mind, so I like it. And part of the reason I like it is because I just got a really good ribbon on it, and I just, like, played with it a lot. Athadai, even though it got an augment everybody got excited about, yeah. Athadai is really good. When's the last time anybody thought about the Kreshka? I've never thought about the Kreshka, so that gives you an idea. Another good one is Quats. I was talking to a friend, and we were like, what is the stupidest weapon of all time? And it's probably the Quats. I think people think about the Stug too much. Pandero is like one of my most used secondaries. I can't say Pandero. That was like what I used all the way from like early. Didn't know about Athadai until MR26. Yeah, it's like hidden in a really weird place. Anything in Railjack tends to be pretty hidden, so. Crit damage, crit chance damage, Corpus. Nope. You love Quats? It's so weird. Quats is so weird. Quats is actually on my list of like things to build out at some point, because we were just talking about it. It's like, man, this thing's ass. It's so bad, but it's so cool. How does the thing have base electric damage and have a reload gimmick and all this other stuff? It's really fun. And you used it forever. Definitely do not remember much about it these days, yeah. Pandera is awesome? Yeah. I think the issue with Pandera these days is that it's kind of the same as Kuva Kraken. And Kuva Kraken's arguably the better version of it. And both of them have the same like reload bug at the moment. This is like almost good. I wish the zoom in the crit were flipped. Stupidest weapon is Sibir just because he can't be bothered crafting it. The truest answer would be Carmine Penta. No, everybody knows the Carmine Penta because it has the gimmick where like if you have more mag capacity, then it's bigger. Like it visually changes. So I need a magazine capacity Penta at some point. Harpack's a strange weapon. Wish it got a Kuva version. Yeah. I would actually... Doesn't Harpack have a alt fire? So it's probably not going to get an incarnate ever, so it probably needs one. So the reason I rolled past that slash electric one, by the way, is because this weapon doesn't have any base slash. So it's basically a not stat. It just doesn't exist. You forgot about Carmine Penta entirely? Yeah. It's so ugly too. The base color on the thing is like bright red. It's like the color of the car most likely to be pulled over. Needs to be wholly irrelevant, jeez. Yeah. I think an incarnate would be really sick, but they don't have a way to like add an incarnate to a weapon with an alt fire. So if something has an alt fire, it's almost certainly never going to get incarnate. Right now, for me, I think probably the weapons that I would want the most to have incarnate are like Tigris, Atarax, and Opticore. And I'm pretty sure Opticore is not going to get one because people like the weapon too much. But I just like Opticore, so that's the only reason. This is like cool. I don't really like the negative status chance, but yeah, I think I skipped this. Electric is one of the stats that I want for a gyro build for this, so I was really considering it, but 69, it was bad. Unlucky. My next guest is 72, I think. This is garbage. Incarnate Tigris. I have a cool concept for what the incarnate would be. I'd love to hear it. Spectra with the yellow energy color is just a P laser. That's crazy. Why'd you make me read that? Good to see you, Iron Stash. I'm excited to show you guys the gifts I got from the last one because a lot of the messages were really funny. Somebody sent me like 10 Forma bundles and each of them had the message anything with mag. So I think they want me to cook something with mag. Just a guess though. It's really silly. I was considering taking that one. It would have been good for Garuda, but this is corrosive damage. This could be viral electric. I could take this and then replace the toxin one. Because it's toxic first. We can do that. Yeah, Obsession. Basically, the Tigris incarnate form would be one massive shotgun blast that has infinite body punch through and can rebound off walls similar to the Dragoon. That'd actually be pretty sick. As long as it, like, force proc slash. I don't really care what the incarnate does as long as it force proc slash. It's just its thing, you know? I'm kind of curious to try this, but one of the reasons that I wanted electric is because it buffs the damage of the forced electric proc from Gyre's one augment. And if people are like not familiar with Gyre's one augment, basically you just throw her funny like zappy spear on the ground, and then when you shoot out of it or shoot through it, it force procs electric and does like more damage. But the forced electric proc is actually status damage. It's not like it gives status damage. It doesn't give just electric damage. And so any electric that you get from like a Riven or something is multiplicative. Dantage, good to see you. So like this would be kind of fun on Gyre. So I'm legitimately considering taking this. On the other hand, big number. So we have to choose between big number and funny dot number. And I'm pretty sure this is more damage. So I think I'd probably stick with this one. And this one has negative Grineer. And Grineer, like, you actually fight pretty often in places where this matters, so. Negative Grineer, bad, I guess. This is terrible. This weapon doesn't have slash on it. Heat critical damage zoom. Okay, so I was talking about this earlier. We kind of tried big number. Yeah, you're so true. So the issue with heat that we were having is that if I'm using this on Gyre, I can't run heat because it'll combine with any electric damage I put on, and we'll get radiation, and radiation's bad. In case anybody was not aware, radiation damage is pretty bad right now. It doesn't have uses. It's also like corrupted enemies take less damage from radiation, so it's just double bad. I could run viral heat on this for like Garuda, but the armor doesn't affect the heat damage. So I think, sorry, the armor doesn't affect the slash damage. So like we would get extra heat dots, which is pretty sick, but that's kind of it. And I don't really think I care that much. So probably we're skipping this, I think. Yeah, I think we're skipping this. I kind of regret it. Can I go back? Can I go back and take that Riven? Is that like an option? Negative stat duration, can't do that. I mean, I can, I just don't want to. Negative multi-shot's really funny, but I was so sad. I had a negative 100% multi-shot Riven, but it doesn't stop weapons from... Okay. This Riven does nothing. I wish it was impact slash, but maybe that one goes to the wall of shame. What's my highest roll number? It's probably my Latron. It's like 300 something. Most of my Rivens I stop around 300. I tend to believe that like if I make it to 1,000,000 Kuva, it's not getting better. Like we're not doing better than that, you know? I don't tend to like obsessively roll a single Riven that much. And then some weapons that I have like really good Rivens on, I just didn't need to, so. I'd have to check actually. It might be one of the ones that I've done for videos. I tend to just like only spend 1,000,000 Kuva and then stop, so. pretty bad. We'll have to see though. Is this better? Less multi-shot. We got CC instead of CD. CD's probably better between the two of them, so. Impact plus slash minus puncture on 149th roll. That's insane. That's malicious. Though hopefully we had something good before that, so I can just laugh at it and not worry about it. Heat crit chance is not good. Like, surely we have something better than this, right? Like, this is... Why do we keep getting rolls like this? This weapon doesn't have impact on it. That set literally does nothing. This one's pretty bad, too. Stop giving me impact. We can get anything better than this, I swear. Ammo max zoom. Insanity. Jeez. Gas. World's fastest fart cloud. It's another one that you can take because it'll make viral heat. So if you're not using this on Garuda or Gyre like I am, then it's okay, but for me, it's not great. This is kind of an interesting gyre one, but you tend to kill things before the electric status duration matters, so. I don't really think you'd need status duration for this. Bad. Okay, this one definitely goes on the wall of shame, for sure. Check that out. This Riven does nothing. Negative impact does nothing. Reload speed kind of does something, sort of. Weapon recoil does nothing. Zoom does nothing. Quite impressive. Let's get this on the wall. Boom. Huge. I got a gambling at on your stream. I don't know what that means, but I agree. There I go for negative impact, yeah. A gambling ad. That's crazy. You were just thinking the Wall of Shame was looking bare after 90 rolls? Yeah. I've been kind of selective. The issue with this weapon is that it has a lot of rolls that are just like actually garbage. Close to the triple racist Riven, but no luck. I think I've said this before, but there's more people now. If I get triple racist Riven just ever, I immediately take it and stop rolling. So there is that. I really don't like negative recoil or reload on this. I'm considering skipping this just because of that. But this would be a good Riven for Gyre. Yeah, I think I have to skip this. I would be okay with taking negative reload if it was like a good Riven for Garuda, but just realize the biggest strength a Warframe player can have is being stubborn and doing and testing whatever the hell you want. Even when stupid people tell you not to. Yes, you're not wrong. The most important thing to know about Warframe is that half the information that you get from people is going to be wrong. Because one, updates happen, and two, people just suck at testing things, like myself included. And I like do a lot of testing, so you'd kind of expect me to be kind of good at it, but nope. Garbage. Pretty bad. And being a math nerd, yes, that definitely helps. Being good at math is really useful. Ooh, negative fire rate. That sucks. Do we take this just to try it? I really don't care for this Riven that much, to be honest. At least this one's interesting. Logic doesn't work in Warframe a lot of the times, yeah. So the way I like to phrase it is that how many have you ever gotten a triple faction roll, though? I've never gotten one, so I desperately want a triple faction roll. That's like one of the things that's like part of the reason this series exists, is so that I can try the faction thing. Okay. There. Battacor. Back to the Gyre build. Damage punch through electric. I think it goes here. I still don't have space for... it has to go here. I still don't have space for the thing I want. Crit chance. Oh, but it's Gyre, so it doesn't matter. It's okay if I don't have crit chance. I get free crit chance from R3.
Excellent armaments, operator.
Let's go try this.
Please return covered in blood. Safe and sound.
Thing that I'm most worried about for this Riven is the negative fire rate. The other three stats are pretty decent. Like punch through's okay. Electric is good for Gyro specifically. And damage is obviously good, so. So this is without the one augment. Oh, the fire rate feels so bad. Oh no. Oh no. It is doing damage, I guess. Alright, let's try it with this. Oh, it feels so bad. I can't run this. It's just unrunnable. It does a lot of damage when it hits, though. Yeah, I don't think this is runnable. Why don't I visit Samaris through the console? Because habit. There's not really a good reason. It is faster, though, to use the console, you're right. I tend to do it about 50-50. But there's also like no navigation button to go there. So if I hit navigation, then it's just faster. Because otherwise you have to like exit out and then all that stuff. You know what? I think maybe the issue is that we're not rolling in a good place. Maybe this place is just unlucky. It makes it feel more powerful, trust me? Okay, I'll trust you. You can run a Riven like that if you want. I'm not going to. I think it's cursed. I'm gonna roll on Chrysalith, I think. Maybe this is the place. Oh, let me show this off too, because I think it's really funny. If you guys watch Warframe streams on Twitch, to an extent, you might have seen this before. But there's currently a bugged look for the Panzer Vulpaphyla going around, and you can copy it from other people. So, say hello to the lizard config. Terrifying. Let's find somewhere interesting to roll. This rock looks good. I like that rock. Boom. What the? Yeah, I agree. It's just a bugged config. You have this look for your Panzer you got a few months ago? Yeah. It's pretty fun. It's a good time. But maybe he's lucky. You never know. That's pretty bad. Two of these stats do nothing. We got plus cold and negative damage. Holy. He has anorexia? Oh no. Poor guy. Bad. This is like the worst version of this one. I wanted this one to be good. I wanted the fire rate to feel okay, but we just need fire rate. Amazing. The opposite of amazing. Not amazing. Bad. This is the roll. I lied. Roll 100. Okay. It's okay, I guess. It's better than average. I saw negative zoom and I got excited, and then I read the rest of the stats. It's just... This weapon has no slash, it has no ammo max. Or, well, ammo max doesn't matter, so... Unlucky. Oh, okay. This is actually decent. I'm definitely taking this over the negative fire rate. Do I want my unrolled triple faction Hema Riven? No. I want to roll one myself. I appreciate the offer, though. 149? That's the one that you said was going to be terrible, right? It was like slash and impact and negative puncture or something. The legendary triple IPS Riven that does literally nothing. He talks in weapon recoil. No. There's like a world, but... Impact electric. At least this Riven feels like something. I'm like kind of happy with this one. It means that I can replace Vital Sense, which is cool. It's one of the better things to be able to replace for sure. My guess is roll 111 is going to be interesting. This is really bad. I kind of wanted to Wall of Shame that, but it's too late now. Nope. What about this roll? Okay. $700,000 Kuva to go. And it's bad. Here's 111. No. This is only detrimental. Impressive. I guess technically weapon recoil does something. But not really. I don't know why I'm looking at that one, as if it's usable. So when I said 111, I actually meant 120. That's the one that I meant. Bad. Livid agrees. Livid knows. That's how. Good to see Livid. Nerd. Vibes too. Holy shit. Good to see you guys. The gang is here. And Mika's here too. Holy. 127. Okay, I believe you. Why? Okay, this one we have to screenshot just because it's terrible. If you haven't seen this weapon before, no slash, no impact. So this is just reload speed. Not great. Boom. Huge. So usually I only... Did I miss you? Yes, I missed all of you. I missed Mika, I missed Livid, I missed Vibes. I miss people who haven't like seen one of my streams before. I miss them especially. But I miss all of you. What was I doing? I don't remember. We were doing something. We were rolling a Riven, right? Just completely blindsided by 3 messages from people that I know. Immediately. Losing brain cells in real time. It's crazy. 07, good luck on rolls. Kuro, good to see you. I'm gonna need it because holy shit, some of these are rough. For people who just tuned in too, the plan for this weapon is to use it either on Gyre or Garuda. I haven't decided which, it depends a lot on the roll. I have a build for both of them. I don't like the augment very much unless you have a grouping tool. So if you haven't used the augment before, it basically turns this into the Opticore with the Altfire. And if you do have the Altfire, then it's like usable with a grouping tool. But if you don't have a grouping tool, then it's actually shit. Like it's so mediocre that I'd rather just shoot the main fire. Because at least the main fire has like multiplicative condition overload and stuff. But we are struggling. We're currently 123 rolls in with like a Riven that's okay for Gyre, and that's about it. But that's like why the tier list is the way it is too. I don't know how visible it is, but the idea here is that we have a bunch of stats that are good on both, and then Electric is good on Gyre, and then these two are good on Garuda, and then the rest of these are kind of whatever. Yes. This one's bad. No slash. Unfortunately, like, positive slash doesn't even benefit the slash proc. Like, if you have positive slash on any mod at all, it just doesn't do anything for your slash procs. It's super weird. Slash procs just are only based on base damage, so and like crit, I guess. But this is okay. The stats are in the wrong order. I would still have to run a toxin mod, so not good. This is bad. What's this thing's max ammo again? It's like 720 or something, right? Something ridiculous. Magazine 60. Yeah, I think it's 720. They really got to make IPS mods multiplicative to base like elemental. Yeah, I agree. I would be okay with them just being multiplicative like that, and then they don't multiply with elementals. That would be ideal. It would be fun to have like an actual puncture build for something, but this is radiation damage. No, thank you. F-127, yeah. It was doomed, sorry. We're still waiting on 149, I think, is the next maybe good roll. Though Kaylee said 149, and I don't believe Kaylee, because she also said it was going to be like slash puncture impact or something insane, so I'm holding out on it not being good. If it's good, then it's so doomed. Like, I don't know. Oh my god, Ignis, hi. Hey, Inator, good to see you. Ionator? I'm so bad at... in my brain, whenever I read your name, it's just Inator, but it is Ionator. There's a pun there. It's just hard for my brain to comprehend. We do be rolling, though. Fire rate toxin? That's crazy. Never doubt you? Okay, I won't doubt you. Negative damage, no thanks. Actually, maybe do? Okay, I'll doubt you. Whichever one you tell me to do, I'll do that. Status chance duration. Oh god. No thank you. Nope. I think if there was one stat that like I'm not really that happy about getting, that I would be happy about getting, it'd be like reload speed. Because the reload on this is like really not that good. And we don't really have a good way to build reload speed either, so. Mika still gets it wrong sometimes. Damn. He's your mod and everything, he still gets it wrong, that's crazy. Inator is like, I don't know. It works on the brain easier, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. This is terrible. Live on YouTube, yeah. I don't want to set up multi-stream at the moment, and I figured it would be better if the VOD existed on YouTube for people. for the rolling. I do have a video for this weapon coming out tomorrow, probably. I probably won't finish it tonight, just because I have tomorrow off for Labor Day. In your defense, you're right 1 out of 10 times. That's crazy. Just gonna call him E? Yeah, maybe that's the play, is just call him E. Ionator, are you okay with just being called E? Is that like an option? Can we do that? Puncture slash corpus. Nope. But yeah, so I considered streaming on Twitch, and I was like, no, I don't really want to like set it all up. So I just set up the YouTube one, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Shout out to E estrogen. That's crazy. You don't need to shout out chemicals. That's insane. I appreciate the thought, though. I'm sure estrogen also appreciates the thought. But it also doesn't have feelings, so you don't need to shout it out. Negative status chance. I was promised a good Riven. Where's the good Riven? 149 coming up. You can help me set up multi-stream if I want. Sure, yeah. I'd be down. I don't really plan on streaming that often, in case it wasn't obvious. I'll stream like once a month, maybe. You need some of that E? That's crazy. Congrats, or I'm sorry if you haven't gotten it yet. One of these days, though, for sure. Multi-shot fire rate. No negative, though. No negative is pretty sad. I really do want either crit chance or crit damage on this just so I can replace one of the mods. It's just too hard to mod this otherwise, I think. Which is insane, because if I get crit damage, multi-shot damage, that's like the best thing that I could possibly get for Gyre. I just don't have space to fit crit chance. Because like if you have the augment in, then you have to have crit chance somewhere, and it's probably just going to come from Gyre's kit. Which is sad. I just want things to work. But here we are. There's like something on my mouse. Ammo max is not great. The funny number 152. Why is 152 the funny number? Is there something I'm missing? 169 is the next funny number, I think, if we're serious about it. 155. Oh, okay, you said roll 169. Yeah, you're right. I agree. In your defense, it's 1 out of 10 times, but it would be hilarious if I got IPS negative damage. That would be so, like, shameful, because you'd get plus puncture, and then you'd have no puncture damage. So, it'd be so bad. Some of these Rivens are, like, really funny to me. Honestly, I didn't realize that this Riven, or that this weapon could even roll, like, puncture and, like, IPS, like, any of them. Because, like, if you look at the damage, it's just, where's the slash? Where's the impact? Where is it? It doesn't exist. So everything that we miss is, insanity. I don't know. I'm actually not sure how the statistics works out. Like, if this couldn't roll IPS, do you think it'd be more likely or less likely for the Riven to be good? Kind of my guess is that it would be more likely because you have more chances to get a bad negative. Or, like, a good negative, rather. Wow. At least Punch Through does something. But I don't know how the math works out. Critical damage electric. Still. Yeah, no more positive zoom, please. I'm over the positive zoom. Imagine if the Riven had added IPS to a weapon that doesn't deserve it. That would be... Yeah. I think if you could add, like, slash to some weapons, it would be kind of fun. I'd be down to, like, add slash to, like, some... what's it called? Like, beam weapons. Takes 3 shit positives and 3 good negatives out of the picture. Yeah. I just don't know... I guess it depends, like, on the order that it's rolled, right? Because rolls are cumulative. Like, they'll remove it from the bag, so to speak, but I don't know what order it does it in. Can you imagine, like, the Cycron with, like, base slash, though? You could just have, like, a multi-shot abusing beam weapon with slash. That'd be sick. We need an ultimate theory of everything equation for Warframe. Just one formula that tells us anything that I need to know. Okay. How would... I don't know how that would work. The game is like too spaghetti. I would never, like, be able to figure it out. Too confusing. Ooh, this one's cool. I kind of like this one. Plus fire rate too. We could actually run Crux on this and it'd be kind of fun. I surely take this, right? Like, there's no way. Negative impact does nothing. Fire rate is like a good stat. CC and CD are both good. It's usable on both Garuda and... Okay. So we didn't get the funny number, but we did find it. The game's too spaghetti for one absolute formula. Yeah. It'd be like a knot. Do enemy die? Yes or no? Yes, win. No, need more damage. So true. I think probably if you add more damage, then the enemy dies. That is a good point. Okay, so this was a good spot to roll, for sure. That's a great Riven. Yeah, I agree. Gonna go try it. Let's go see what this thing is. Very excited to see a good Riven, though.
The multitude of creatures you have
Huge.
mobilized would cry out in
Positive fire rate's kind of fun too. The only issue I have with it is that it's going to make me reload more often, but maybe that's a good reason to run this on Garuda. Just say like, hey, this is a Garuda Riven now. Blech, a Garuda Riven now. I can't talk. Mouth is gone. We're not buffing quickly. Oh, that feels so cool. Actually good fire rate. How does the electric procs from Garuda's 4 work? Are they... Is it like per hit? Like, am I getting more hits because this thing has fire rate? You want your Okina Riven to be goated? Yeah, I need an Okina Riven too. That thing is sick. There's actually a niche for regular Okina also. Oh, this is so much better. This feels so much better than the last one I tested. The last one was negative fire rate, and it was kind of similar. It was like plus electric instead or something. But the negative fire rate like killed it. Let's try the alt fire. This is like an actually good weapon now. It's locked to 1 per second. Okay. Good to know. I like didn't have my gyre built out before like I started messing with this weapon, so I basically formatted these two together. 3 bolts per trigger? Yeah. That's my understanding too. Okay, let's try this without any stats too. Wait, is my build correct for this? I should actually check this. I can drop this and put like Elementalist in now too. Because this is CC and CT. Elementalist. This is probably what we're going to end on, to be honest. I might keep rolling it. I haven't really decided yet. Okina Prime over Okina even with good Riven. Base stats on the Prime are stupid high and Norm is super low. You tried both already? Yeah, I think... So the argument would be that because the condition overload effect that Okina gets is higher on the base version, you would run like a status focus build, and then you would use like the fact that the Okina's like floating daggers benefit from it. Did somebody say Forma? Iron Stash, please no. Save yourself. Save your money. I do want Elementalist on this. Oh wow, I have so much space now. Holy shit. This thing's sick. I love it. We can even just dump base damage back in so that this actually has startup. Yeah. Okay, let's try this. But no, you're good. I can't stress enough like how much forma I got after the last like dubious builds video. People sent me so much forma. So I'm sitting on like 50 plus forma at the moment and like 10 Omni forma or something. I don't remember. I've used a lot of it now. Oh, it feels so good now. This weapon's so cool. The alt fire still sucks if you don't have the augment equipped. Which CO effect? Synergist early or something else? Let me... Where's Okina? I don't have a second incarnate adapter, but it is... Where is it? Yeah, this. The status damage one, I think. Right. Okay, I was remembering it wrong. I think. Yeah. So it's this effect right here. So the idea would be that you run the base one because like the status damage is just way higher on the base version, and then you run like an influence setup or something. I don't know. It wasn't my idea. I think Fran was the one who thought about it. So Frangible on Twitch. But she was talking about it the other day, so that's where I learned that. I think this is better on Garuda than it is on Gyre at the moment, but Gyre is a better Warframe. But this one is... The reason it's better on Garuda is because she has the instant reload. Use Seeing Red to permanent upkeep combo, actually, yeah. I think Seeing Red is better for like general use. The only reason you would use the status damage one is if you're doing like a very focused build. It's so cool. I like this weapon now. I'm so glad I hit something. Let's finish rolling in the relay. There's a good chance that we don't get anything better than this. I think we've probably peaked. So if I was smart, I would stop rolling right now. But we have no self-control, so we'll roll with Teshin. Can I stand back here? I can't. In the tree, maybe. Okina Incarnate, you don't know what it is about it, but it does way too much damage even without synergies. Synergies? Yeah, it kind of does. I think the bonus crit damage you get from the like forced freezes that it does are like super underrated. I don't know if that makes sense, but this is like the worst place to roll. I can't see anything. We're just trees. And the claws are covering the Riven. This is not good signs. What's better? CC, CD, multi-shot, minus zoom? Yeah, it would be that, or it would be CC, CD, electric if I'm running gyre. Or damage. Either one. Damage, multi-shot, or electric are probably the only two things that I would take. Find a new Riven to roll with Teshin and let the Gamma take over. Does he have a Riven? I actually don't know if I have any Steel Essence. What if my roll had the same stats but 5% higher number? That's so true. We could roll higher. We could have infinite. I have 2 Steel Essence at the moment, so we could get a Veiled Riven Cipher and then unlock a new one and then spend the rest on that. No. We're just going to spend it. We're going to waste it all. I don't mind. I think it's funnier if I waste it all, so we're just going to do it anyways. It's super not worth doing, by the way. Like, this is the worst idea, but I'm still going to do it. We have to at least go to 200, right? I like don't even need to look at these rolls anymore because we've hit something so insanely good that it's not worth it. But we'll do it anyways. The Force Freeze, you use Arcane Ice Storm, Evade, and Multi Efficiency with a full build, 260 range, 260 strength, 260 duration. Is a stat monster. Yeah, I can imagine. I saw your content about the Okina nuke, and I actually think it's really good. I think the fact that the Nova explosions from her 4 rock influence off of the daggers is ridiculous. The seed of Riven Greed has taken root. I am the seed. I'm the problem here. It's not the Riven. It's a very... I'm the cause, you know? Not the other way around. I didn't even look at that Riven, but I was pretty sure it was worse. It was like fire rate damage or something. 07169, yeah. It was doomed. As soon as we got a good Riven on like 167, it was doomed. The chance of us getting one that's like actually better now is just so low that I really should not be rolling this, but we're gonna do it anyways. Plus slash, love to see it. I'm so happy this weapon ended up being an interesting one. Because I basically unveiled a random Riven, I was like super worried I was going to get something just not fun. But Battacor is definitely one of the more interesting ones, so. Who's ready for the misclick? I don't think I've ever misclicked a Riven. So, let's not start now. That'd be pretty shameful. It's not just that, actually. If you test this with any other frame in the game, Okina dagger kills won't actually re-trigger the dagger, and the daggers don't benefit from influence. Allows it to benefit from influence and re-trigger the daggers on kills? Yeah. Wait, so is it the... My understanding was that influence kills were the thing that was giving the dagger. Are you saying that, like, the actual dagger kill itself, like when there's just one enemy in the room, is also giving a dagger, because I was under the impression that because it's triggering influence, the influence kills from the dagger are the things that are like giving more daggers, I guess. Or like even it's like the blast procs that are getting spread by influence by molecular prime. It's those also, like, kills from that would also count. But if it's just doing it, like if there's a single enemy in the room, like you just get it back as soon as the dagger kills something, then it's even stupider. And it's already pretty stupid, so. This is like the worst version. I'm so happy. I know it's like hard to tell because I like don't turn on the camera or anything, but damn. I was so worried about this one. I believe it's influence and prime cascade that retriggers the daggers, but you can go test it now on a single enemy. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't think you need to test it. Like, I think you're correct either way. Like, M prime cascading is going to do that. But either way, like, it's really strong. Nova's stupid. That's the best way I can put it. Nova's just stupid. She's so strong. It's really silly too, because like even if she didn't have the weird like molecular prime cascading nonsense, like she'd still be kind of absurd. But the fact that she also has that is just silly. Okay, I think I'm going to 200 and then I'm stopping because I don't really expect us to get anything better. This is basically a perfect roll. There's like only 2 or 3 things that I could get better than this. And if I save the rest of the scuba, then I can do another one of these rolls sooner. So we'll probably stop at 200. You made a short video on all the funny interactions? Hell yeah, I'll have to take a look. Insanity. Okay, we have our 4th Wall of Shame entry. This does nothing. It has no recoil, and it doesn't increase the damage. Huge. I'm glad we got to the last one before 200. It would have been a shame if we didn't get 4 of them. Huge. Okay, let's finish up. 3 more rolls. I almost accepted that. Iron Stash almost predicted the future. That would have been rough. Impact heat recoil. No thanks. Last one. Bad. Who could have seen this coming? Okay, I think we're done. Crit chance, crit damage, fire rate. Why don't we go try this in just like a survival or something? Just to give it a test, and then I'll probably call it. Thanks everybody for showing up for these, by the way. This is more people than I expected on YouTube. I don't really, like, I'm not that big of a creator, so the fact that people are willing to show up at all is impressive to me, so thanks. Okay, so Jair was the main person that I wanted to try this on. Sure, we can run Okina for now. Do I need Veiled Riven mods? No. I think I'm doing okay. I'll let you know after I get through my 26 pistol Rivens, though.
I understand.
I think Kuva's the main bottleneck. Okay. Do I have excavation? No thanks. Where is it going? Maybe there's like a conjunction survival or something. There is. Let's do it. All right, so we're just gonna test this out for like 5 minutes, just see if I am happy with it. I should fix the screen too. Boom. Beautiful. I love her roll. It's so cool. Okay. We can actually buff now. Let's go. I'm pretty sure this is going to be fine. Please let me through. Thank you. My buffs almost ran off because like the door would not open. Oh, okay. This is going to be fine. Yeah, I'm so not worried about this being good. Loka's here to celebrate. Ow. Did I just get toxined? Was that what that was? Ow. If I die here, I'm gonna be so sad. Just the immediate death. Because I don't play Gyre. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, we got toxin procced again. It hurts. Ow. It's over. One Toxin Eximus versus person with 3,000 hours. Unlucky. What can you do? That does reinforce the main thing that I knew Gyre had like problems with, though. If anything, it's making me want to run Rolling Guard. Because like I knew this was an issue, but it is pretty funny to like get the Riven and then immediately run into the issue. In a place that like you wouldn't normally expect it. I do like the pretty red numbers though. You gotta love it. I kind of want more strength on this build too, which is unfortunate because like I don't have space for it. If anything, I'd drop strength just to like fit Rolling Guard. Or like expedited, whatever. The thing that reduces status duration. I think I need to lower my text size for this. Love that any weapon can work in Warframe. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Though, to be honest, like a lot of this is just Gyre. Like this is just... Gyre's good. Like who could have possibly seen this coming? One other issue I've been having with Gyre in general is that I don't like the fact that you can't like throw her orb up. It just rolls in a straight line. No matter what direction you throw it. It just... So you have to like jump upwards before it like works, I guess. What's our KPM at? 313? So pretty easily 100. So a lot of it is just Gyre for like killing things. The reload does still feel a little scuffed, to be honest. But I'm okay with it, I think. This is like a good enough test for me to be happy, I think. This is like something I'd be willing to run in missions, I guess. Which is more than I can say like about a lot of weapons. Fun fact, Lanka can proc melee influence. That sounds terrifying. How does that even work? Is it like one of the charge shots or something is able to proc melee influence? Because I will have to try that. Boom. The big suck. I wish I could see anything. but my whole screen is numbers. I think I need to lower my text size just for Gyre. Okay, let's do it. It's too... I can't see anything. Damage. At least we got the YouTube numbers. Wow, we got a Paraslim! Alright, let's kill these guys, and then we'll dip. And we'll probably call stream there. The lead. Of course. Oh, he's not dead. I understand. Hooray! Via voltage sequence, mod procs the electric mine when the enemy is flying. When a flying enemy is killed by it. That is weird. Oh, of course it's voltage sequence. I forgot how scuffed that mod is. I don't even think I own it, but every time I hear about it, it's like, yeah, by the way, it procs death. This is the other thing I was kind of worried about for this weapon, is how well it does against... Where did he go? Am I stupid? I am stupid. Ow. He just killed my body. Ow. Oh, I have a bubble on me. No wonder. I'm like, why am I dying? It's the bubble that I can't see because Gyre. Thank you for the stuff. Now we can leave. Wrong way. No, I suck. Alright. And we're out of here. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I think probably there is not much else to do on the stream here. I am happy with the Battacor. I think let me just show off the build one more time, just so that people can see it, in case they showed up late. Gyre's survivability still pretty low. Like if you kill things fast enough, then she lives, and if you don't, then she doesn't. I think probably if I was going to use this in like a EDA or something, I'd probably run either Kata Shields or Rolling Guard here. Or maybe both, like maybe I do this. Probably for most general missions, this is fine. But if you're in high density, only person being targeted type of stuff, then Rolling Guard or Rapid Resilience is probably the play here. I'd like to fit more strength in here if I could, but I think the duration's a little bit necessary. I think Archon Stretch is pretty nice, like having extra energy regen is really nice, and then the range is pretty good. PSF doesn't seem like it's that necessary, so you could make an argument for switching this out for something. And then you need something resembling defensive. So we are running something resembling Shield Gate between this and Blind Rage. I think if I was serious about using this weapon like long term, I'd run out Epitaph with like some Augur mods on it or something also. I don't really think there's a melee that necessarily synergizes with the Battacor that well. One thing I have noticed is that, and you kind of saw it there, if your text numbers are like too big with this weapon or with Gyre in general, you just can't see shit. Like it's, I physically can't see the screen. So you kind of need to lower your damage number size if you're playing Gyre, because she just, all of her stuff is crits, so the text is bigger, and then like it has an electric proc next to all the numbers. So even if you have condensed text, like I'm sure it's still going to be huge. Other version of the build that I was running is this Garuda build. Oh, I should show shards too. Let me do that first. I have 2 ability damage shards on here. And then I have 1 energy max for startup and then 1 cast speed. I don't think cast speed is necessary because like you don't really cast that much, but it is nice, so I think it's worth running. And then I have 1 primary electric damage shard on this. You can technically get away with not running this, but it is worth noting that if you have this on here, the status damage from electric status is going to be multiplicative with conductive sphere. So I think if you're running conductive sphere, I would recommend running at least 1 of these shards, just because it's nice to have the electric damage. This is the build I was running on Battacor. You can make an argument for like running more electric damage if you're doing this on Gyre. But if you just want like a useful thing here, you could run this, you could run reload, you could run all sorts of things. So this is just because this is the Gyre build, this is what I'm running. Oh, and actually, I think this was the wrong build too. I wasn't even using the Sentient Barrage version, but this is what I would normally run in Gyre. And if you're not running Gyre, then probably Serration here. Or yeah, if you're not running Sentient Barrage, so if you don't avoid it group stuff, then just run Serration or a Bane mod here. Deadhead felt the best here. I think you could make a good argument for Crux also. Especially if you're running like a Serration version like this. Just run Crux. And you'll get the extra status, which is pretty sick. For Garuda specifically, you don't want to run Crux because it doesn't affect the slash status from your 4. Like status chance doesn't do anything. So I would generally just recommend not doing that. And then just running like Deadhead or some other base damage instead. Anything else that I missed that's worth talking about? I got lucky on the crit chance and crit damage here. This weapon, if you're looking for a Riven, I would say look for something that can compress mods. One of the main struggles I've had with this weapon is that I just don't have enough space to fit everything. So if you can, find something that like can compress multiple mods together. So whether that's like a little bit of extra damage or having 2 elemental mods on this so that you can like run actual crit damage stats here instead. I think that would be perfectly fine. There's like a lot of options, but obviously CCCD is going to be the easiest way to do that. So I'm pretty lucky that I got that. Yeah, I think we did it. Great job, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. I know a lot of this stream was just kind of like chatting and rolling. So I'm really happy that people like felt like tuning in. So thank you so much for that. I think I'll probably do future Riven videos like this, where I do the rolls live and then I cut out a lot of the like rolling footage in the actual video, just to like make it better. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys next time.